Hello, and welcome to the FPL Introvert YouTube channel. Today, we will be covering the watch list for Game Week 3. First up, the hot topic and the man on everyone's lips, Romelu Lukaku. Chelsea are looking good in both attack and defense, with options from front to back. We'll start with the big man up front. His stats against Arsenal in Game Week 2 were outstanding. He registered a total of 8 shots, with 7 of those shots in the box, and 2 on target. He absolutely bullied Pablo Mari in the game. Now, he's not going to face Arsenal and Mari every game. Next up is a tough matchup against Liverpool and Virgil van Dijk. So he's probably not going to get as many chances as in the match against Arsenal. However, he's one to watch and perhaps bring in when the fixtures get better for Chelsea from Game Week 7 onwards. By then his price is probably going to rise quite a bit, so that's something to keep in mind if you're holding off till then. For those who can't afford Lukaku, there might be some merit in going for 2 Chelsea defenders or 1 Chelsea defender and 1 midfielder. Reece James is one to monitor. He put in an incredible performance against Arsenal. The only issue is whether he'll be a regular starter in that Chelsea backline. Other alternatives in defense is Azpi and Rudiger. Of the two, I prefer Rudiger as he's cheaper and more likely to get an attacking return. In midfield, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz are the standouts. Next, we have Benrahma and West Ham. Now, I'm not going too much into Antonio as we all already have him, right? If not, get him in immediately. Okay, I was not convinced initially on Benrahma. But after 2 games and looking at his stats, it's getting pretty tempting. 5 shots in the box over 2 games, 3 in the box and 3 on target. Couple this with 2 big chances. Fixtures over the next 4 game weeks are also good with the exception of Man United in Game Week 5. What's not to like? The only caveat is that Leicester was down to 10 men pretty early on in their last game. However, West Ham were already playing well before the sending off. Also, we must keep a lookout on potential transfers. If Lingard signs for West Ham, it might affect Benrahma's returns or even game time. But as it stands, he is the midfielder to get. The next on the list is Adama Traoré. Over the first 2 games, he had 10 shots, with 7 in the box, 2 shots on target, and 2 big chances. Looking at these stats, you would have thought that he'd have produced some great FPL points so far. Nope. He has 0 returns, other than appearance points. The main reason for this is that the man can't finish. For me, he's always someone that's flattered to deceive in FPL terms. He's someone I would keep at the top of my head, but will probably not bring into my own FPL team. He has Man United next, which is a tough fixture. But from Game Week 4 onwards, the fixtures get relatively easier. One other thing to note is that Adama has been linked to Tottenham, so we'll have to see how things develop. The next on the list are 2 Leeds midfielders. Initially, this was supposed to be just Rafinha. But when I was looking at the stats, I noticed that Klitsch has been posting some good stats as well. And for 1 million less than Rafinha. Yes, obviously, I still think Rafinha is the better pick long term. But if you're looking to save some cash to get the likes of Lukaku, you could do a lot worse than Klitsch in my opinion. 2 fixtures is still a very small sample size, so it remains to be seen whether Klitsch can keep up these stats. Fixtures are decent other than that Liverpool fixture in Game Week 4. The next on the list is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. If you remember, he was on my watch list last week. And the case for him gets even stronger now that we know that he's on penalties. Over the first 2 game weeks, he had 9 shots, of which 9 were in the box, 6 on target and 3 were big chances. These are really elite numbers. I think him and Lukaku are the strikers to be aiming for long term. I currently have none of the two at the moment, but this will definitely change over the next few weeks. Lastly, I just wanted to spend some time talking about some of the cheap defenders that are emerging in the game. These players are not necessarily meant to get us a load of points. Rather, I like to look at them as enablers that help us to balance the budget so that we can fit the likes of Bruno, Sulla and Lukaku into our squad. The best three are Livramento, Duffy and Williams. The most risky in terms of game time is Duffy in my opinion. We have yet to see how the Brighton defense will line up when Veltman and Lamptey are back. Livramento looked immense against Man United, bombing up and down the wing. He's not totally nailed with Walker-Peters waiting in the wings. But given his good performance, I think he should get starts for now. Williams just joined Norwich on loan from Man United. You would think that the loan move would be to get some game time under his belt. As I said earlier, these players will not score a load of points, but you can put them on the bench. And when one of your starting 11 doesn't play, they can come in and do a job. That's it for this week's FPL watch list. Do like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.